Hello, today we have Amitabh Behar, Executive Director of Oxfam International. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. So, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience?
My name is Amitabh Behar, Executive Director, Oxfam International.
So, the situation in the world is getting worse. So, what do you think is happening?
The situation has got really worse than what it was, say, a decade ago. And we are in the middle of what is being called a polycrisis. And when we talk of a polycrisis, I think it's important to underscore the different dimensions of this crisis. You have, on the one hand, the climate catastrophe. On the other, you are seeing threats to democracy all around the world. You have conflicts growing across, again, the globe. And then you have obscene inequalities rising. So it's really different crises. Each one is enormous in magnitude, and they're making an average person's life really, really difficult.
In Oxfam's latest report on equalities published January 2024, we talk about an economy for all which will take care of people on the planet. So how does this look like?
So, as we said, that we currently have an economic system which only favors the top 1%. In fact, we say that it's an economic system rigged by and in favor of the super rich.
Yes.
We need to fundamentally change that. So it can't be a small tweak of the existing system. It's a fundamentally different system. And therefore we need to build an economy which is built around, which is centered around humans. So a human-centered economy. And to do that, we'll need to make several changes. For instance, work with care economy, work with a green economy, work with ideas of shifting the shareholder capitalism to a more rights holder perspective. So these are very, very fundamental shifts which are absolutely critical for stopping the rising levels of obscene inequality and to try and build a equal society.
Okay. So how does Oxfam help to reduce these inequalities, but more specifically, why is transformative leadership for women so important for Oxfam?
Yeah. So we work around the world in 80 countries. We work with refugees in areas where there is crisis, whether humanitarian or climate, but we also do a lot of work on development. Our attempt is that whatever we are doing with communities at the grassroots has an inequality perspective. So we have strategies which will help us reduce inequalities, like access to education, access to health, a gender just society. So those are strategies that we work with at the local level, with communities, with local governments. But we don't stop there. We ensure that the learnings, findings from this are then used to build a public narrative globally for a conversation with policymakers to invest much more in inequality reducing policies and frameworks. And in all this, our fundamental premise is that power needs to be accountable.
Yes.
We need to ensure that power gets democratized, and that's at the core of a feminist perspective. So we believe that an alternative economic system is needed, but that alternative economic system has to be built on feminist principles, because without that you'll not be able to really create an equitable economic system. So that's really our attempt, and we hope that we are able to work with allies around the world to move towards a more equal society.
Okay, and as citizens, how do you think we can take actions?
Oh, that's the most important question. I think that these struggles for an equal, just, sustainable, peaceful society is not the responsibility of either an Oxfam or just the government. It is the responsibility of every citizen in this world. I think everybody needs to play a role in changing the destiny of this world. As in, for far too long, we have accepted injustice, we have accepted emissions which are unacceptable, we have accepted inequality. This is a moment that we stand up, say no to any kind of injustice, say no to conflict, and to do that, we'll need to do various things, and that's like a range of actions. You could provide a small financial support to the right action groups. You must come out on the streets to protest as and when needed. You must tell your political representative that you are keen to build an equal and a just society, hold the government accountable. But I think constant vigilance is, and active participation is what I would request every citizen to do.
Okay, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.